Okay, welcome everyone. This is our new team call series that we're going to be having for a while. You know, we haven't set an end date, but we definitely love to do through the end of the year, you know. And we're meeting tonight at 8 because of Brian. He gave the wrong time to his team. So next week and after that, we will do 8:30, okay, on Tuesday night. So
put it all on me, Greg.
we'll blame Brian. So it's half hour early tonight. And remember, next Tuesday, if you haven't seen, we have Joel. We have a team call with Joel Freeman from Lift 4. So make sure that you all plan to attend that call. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. What's that, 4 p.m. Pacific time? And if you're somewhere else in between, you can figure out what time that is for you. But we are going to, you know, just our team. And I told corporate that we could get 50 people on the call. So I said, open it up to your customers. If you got somebody that's interested or doing Lift 4, invite them to the call. I would love to get 100 people on this call, you know, just from our team. And I also made a post in our group about, like, if you got a question for Joel, I've got to send him questions in advance. So comment on that post that I made, because I got to fill out a document and I've got to send it over to his handlers, you know, so that you know, he answers the questions on the thing. And he's scheduled for 30 minutes, but maybe we can get him to, you know, talk longer. So and then what else? So these calls. So basically, you know, coming out of Summit, and I'm going to mute some of you guys up for now, but you can unmute yourself if you want to ask a question or make a comment or whatever. So these calls, I want to start off tonight talking about goals, talking about our mission as coaches. But every week we're going to pick a different topic, okay? And we're going to talk about different types of training that we feel would be useful to you as a coach, right? And then not only do I want it to be, you know, and not just me, I've talked to a whole bunch of you guys that were at Summit. You know, I had a meeting with Brian and Tom and other people, and, you know, we want to make these calls fun. So, you know, if you like to drink wine, bring a glass of wine to these calls, okay? If you, like me, like to drink coffee, bring coffee. You know, we want to make these calls fun. We want to hang out. We want to learn together, but we also want to make them interactive. So I don't just want to be up here talking, and I don't want, you know, Brian or whoever, you know, just us talking, right? I want it to be an engagement. So we're going to do some training, and then we are going to be asking you guys to share as well, you know, at the last half of the call, about maybe what you applied this week or what you struggle with, you know, kind of like we used to do on our business builder calls for those of you that attended those. And we also want to have some accountability. So I'm going to be creating a new chat group, and it's only going to be for people who attend these calls. Okay, so our last chat group, it's like everyone wanted to join the chat, but no one wanted to attend the calls. So in order to be part of the chat, you got to be committed to being on the call. Okay, so that's the caveat. And then I want us to share some accountability. So, you know, we can talk about if you want to fill out business activity trackers, you know, we can submit those in the chat each week. So, you know, we'll talk about it, what you guys want to do, what is best going to help you, what's going to keep you accountable, because these calls are for you, okay? They're not for me. I don't need, you know, this, right? I mean, I want to do this with you guys. I want to help you, but I don't need this to be successful, right? I want what you guys need to be successful, and I want to help you be successful, okay? So Um, Let me first, before we get started, you guys all know me. I want to introduce somebody new to our calls and our team, and she's going to help lead these calls. Her name is Michelle Hilliard. I've known Michelle for a long time, many years. She's in the DC area with me. She helps out on the DC Council. She's a 2-star diamond, and she is part of Summer Tucker's organization. If you know Summer Tucker, 15-star diamond coach. And Michelle has 6 kids, which you can see in the background there. So she's a mom of 6, and she has lots of responsibilities, and she's a girl boss, right? She gets this done. And that's why I asked her to if she would be interested in helping out and inviting her team to these calls, because I know many of you are girl bosses and you may not relate to me or Brian or whoever, but you could definitely relate to Michelle because you're moms and you're girls. So anyway, Michelle, do you want to? I'll turn it over to you, and you can talk a little bit or tell a little bit about yourself or whatever.
Thank you, Greg. So I met Greg. I was on the DC Council with Greg for several years. And as we saw Beachbody really start to boom and grow, it was real exciting. I was checking to see if he had muted me on several occasions because of the noise. But anyway, I'm excited to be here. I think Summit this year was absolutely amazing. How many of you guys went to Summit this past year? Okay, if you haven't got your ticket for next year, guys, you've got to get it. The tickets are as cheap as you're going to get them, but the experience is amazing. The trainings, some of the trainings, I'll be super honest, you can get those from anywhere. But the experience that you get by attending the event, hanging out with team members that you're normally separated with a screen by, and getting to really connect with your bigger tribe is absolutely amazing. So I am very excited to do this. I love Greg's leadership. He's such an amazing leader and coach. So it's exciting to be able to lean in with all of you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Michelle. Also want to recognize, or maybe recognize not the right word, but have Scott, because some of you guys haven't heard Scott speak or know who Scott is, and Scott is on the call tonight. He is my upline coach. He has been out, working and moving and doing a lot of stuff. So he's been out of, the team for a while, but he is back and he's going to be helping out in these calls and participating. So Scott, you want to talk?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Greg. I'm glad to be back. I've been out of coaching for about a year and a half. Went through some life changes and had a job relocation, moved the family and all that biz, and really started working on where did I want to play, where did I want to grow my business, and started working on some other channels to help me come back into Beachbody and really explode my business. So I'm excited to be back, and I'm looking forward to meeting all the new faces from Team Engage, because we continue to explode as a team, and we do have some great leaders here. So looking forward to meeting and chatting with every one of you.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, Beachbody struggled, over the past couple of years. You guys know that, right? I mean, it's been tough. We've seen some of our coaches quit, some of our team members or our challengers have stopped and stuff like that. So, Beachbody has definitely had some struggles, but, one of the things that I realized and I heard over Summit is the turnaround that Beachbody's made this year. And it's with the help of 80-Day Obsession and now Lift 4 and 2B Mindset and the bars and everything else that they're doing. It's exploding again, guys. I mean, people are, teams across the network are growing. It's exploding, and we just need to make sure we don't get left behind. We need to catch that wave and take off. And, that's another reason why we need to do these accountability calls and get going, start swimming so that we don't miss it, right? And that we ride that wave, because it's just going to keep on going up, right? Because they're going to be opening up new markets and things that we don't even know about yet. So also, you guys all know Brian. Brian is going to be helping out lead these calls. Brian, you want to say a few words?
Everyone knows me here.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? I'm excited to do these calls. Greg and I sat down with Tom and discussed, like he said, what can we do to kind of get the energy back into our team. And when I say that, I don't mean that our team lacks it and we need to be re-energized, but with Coach Summit, that was a lot of the focus was on there, was rebuilding and getting re-energized with this. So we really want, and there was a point there when we had these calls and everybody was energized and the growth was there. And that's something that I want to get back to. So I think this is great, and it's awesome that Michelle is here and to see Scott on the call, which I haven't seen in a long time. I could feel that energy is coming back, and it's going to be even stronger, and we're going to be even more on fire because of everything that's happening with Beachbody. And I want to ride that wave with all of you guys. I'm maybe one of the leaders in the group that will share, but I'm also one of the participants too, because I've suffered the last 8 months, 10 months with the downtrend of my own business, and now it's starting to get back up on that wave. And I think that happens with a lot of people and a lot of companies where it does kind of go like that. But if you stick it out, and you accept those changes and you make adjustments, and you just stay with it, it's going to work. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to be part of this. And I think these calls are going to be really, really great. Something I need.
Definitely. All right. Well, we're definitely all in this together. We're all going to keep each other committed and accountable. And I think it's going to be great. But I just need all of you guys to commit to being here every single week, because if your accountability partners fall off, then so do you a lot of times, right? So we gotta be committed to each other. So let's get started. So let's first talk about the mission. You gotta know, what is your mission as a coach, right? Or what is our mission as a team? So let's talk about the team first, or just give me throw out some words, like what should our team be about, right? What would you want our team? Like, if you could design the perfect team, what would it consist of?
Relationships, man. It all comes down to relationships.
Yep. Better, more solid relationships. I want that, man. I want this team to be, we say it all the time, we're a family, we care about each other. And it's true. It's like you come to Summit and you feel like you're part of the family, but I know a lot of you guys you might not feel that way yet, but you engage with us, you attend these calls, you show up to all the events, and you will feel like part of a family. I promise you.
Yeah, to add to that, how many people, just by the raise of your hand, how many people are in sales in their other life? How many? Raise your hands. Not very many of us, right? But you know what relationship building is? It's probably about 60% non-sales moving people to take action, right? And that's what this team is relationship builders, and hopefully all of us will connect at that higher level with each other to help push other people, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. What's another word or attribute that we should?
I think it's right there in our team name, which is engage and engagement. And I think that I know personally for myself, when I was having the most success with this business is when I was fully 100% engaged in everything that we were doing, in everything, in all of the calls, in all of the trainings, in all of the groups that we've always had. That was something that really moved my business forward, was doing that. So I think just being engaged and not being.
I'm going to mute you up there, Connie. There you go.
And making that commitment and being committed. So there's another word too. Being committed to these calls, being committed to opening your mind to different techniques, different practices, to change, and just being committed to put it into action as well, everything. Because we can go over all of this information, we can lay out all of the goals, but taking that action has to be in there. So engaging and communication and taking action.
Okay, what else what is our mission as a team together? What else?
You know, the word that comes to my mind immediately, it's probably because of my own story, but I think a lot of people can relate to this, is the word transform. And it's not, because it's not just transforming the body, but it's really, you know, as we read personal development and as we grow, it's transforming the body, the mind, heart, kind of all of it, kind of all around.
Right. Transform each other. Yep. What else?
Unstoppable is what's coming to me. Just there's challenges along the way. So if we know we're unstoppable, that can help our challengers know that no matter what obstacles get in their way, that they're unstoppable, that they can just keep going, keep transforming.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that.
Just to give you guys an analogy, what they talked of, who was the speaker, Brian, at Summit, the happiness guy?
Sean Aker.
Sean Aker. He talked about, and for you guys that were there, you know, he gave this story, which apparently is true, but somewhere in the world, there are these fireflies, right? The ones that light up in the dark. And he told the story that it's like they light up, right? And most fireflies, they light up individually, right? And they light up so that they can attract a mate, right? Well, these fireflies, does anybody remember where they were located?
I just saw some in Ohio. I don't.
No, it was like somewhere in like Afghanistan.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Certain group of fireflies that.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a group like out west as well here in the United States? It was like, I was thinking it was like in Africa or something that, but he also, they thought they found something, a group of them, I want to say out west as well, small pocket.
You're right. He did say that. But for this story, let's say they were in Africa. Okay, so they discovered somehow miraculously that there were all these lightning bugs, and they had learned to synchronize their lights so that they all lit up at the same time. So there's like 1 million bugs, and they all light up at the same time, and you know, this bright glow. And the bugs figured out that they attracted like 80% more mates, and you know, they accomplished their goal like 80% more than when they were lighting up individually. I mean, that per bug, it was like 80%, which was like freaking amazing. Okay, like it you know, dumbfounded scientists and stuff. But anyway, these bugs, they figured out that if they worked together, they could accomplish so much more. And that's what we got to do as a team, guys. I mean, it's like I can hit SC20, but if I'm just lighting up by myself, I'm only helping, you know, 5 people, 10 people a month, right? But if we can all hit SC5, not that there's, you know, anything magical about Success Club, and that's not our goal. Our goal is to help people. But if, just using that as an example, if we could all hit SC5 or SC1, then we're all helping. How many more people are we all helping together as a team? You know what I mean? And that's my goal. I mean, I would rather us do it together and be successful together, because we're going to be 10 times more successful together than we are on our own, right? Like a rising tide, right? You know, rising tide raises all ships, that saying or whatever. But what is another another word or an attribute that we want to fulfill as a team.
What about belief? Because if we don't believe in what we're doing, then, you know, we're really not doing it for anything. So we do believe in what we do.
Yeah, we do, definitely. Belief. So
Angie Bradley says disciplined and inspired along with that belief.
But I mean, don't think it doesn't have to be like a wise or lofty, thing. It could just be, we want to make more money, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be a noble thing. How many of you guys want to make more money? Right? Yeah, let's do it together. I mean, we could be 80%. We can make 80% more money if we work together than trying to do it on our own, right? According to this firefly analogy, right? It's like, I want to be happier. And I think these team, the team, the community, everything that we said will make us happier, right? Who wants to be happier? Who wants to have more fun? Okay. Are you going to have more fun on this call or sitting in your living room binging Netflix? Okay. Right. So yeah, those are a couple things that came to mind for me. Anybody else?
Financial freedom.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to commute 4 hours a day.
Absolutely. Yes, that goes along with make more money, right? and hopefully that leads to freedom, right? It could be time freedom. It could be financial freedom, right? It helps you accomplish your goals, right? And that's what we want. So now that we know what our mission is, and you guys can always define your personal mission as a coach, but let's talk about goals through the end of the year. I don't want to hear, I'm going to be a 15-star diamond. Great. I hope you are a 15-star diamond. I hope that is a goal of yours. But I want realistic goals for what you want to accomplish by the end of the year. And it doesn't have to be rank. It could be, I want to earn $1,000 between now and the end of the year. I want to help 20 people. I want to hit Success Club every month. Whatever it is, think about, we're going to talk about goals a little bit, but while we're talking, I want you guys to write down what your goal is, to accomplish by the end of the year. And obviously it should be a stretch goal, right? I mean, you want to stretch yourself a little bit. So, do you think you can be a diamond? Great. Put it down. If you think that is a stretch, but it's possible, put it down. And then we're going to help you reverse engineer that goal and figure out how to hit it. Okay. So Brian, you want to talk a little about what's your goal?
This is usually what I do with my goals is I always work on them at the beginning of the year. And I have all of my goals back in 2015, 2016, 2017. The one that I don't have is 2018. I didn't do it this year in January, and I normally always do it. So that's something that just because of everything that was happening in my life and everything, I never got to it. And I could see the effects of that. Because in 2015, 2016, 2017, I had my goals written down. Just like Greg said, you got to write these things down. You can't just keep them up here. Not only write them down, but you got to share them. And I wrote those goals down, and I shared them with Greg, and I shared them with some of you guys who were back on the calls back then. And I hit many of those goals. And then this year, I didn't do it. And obviously, there were really no goals to hit. I kind of had some up here, but they weren't written down. They weren't real. They're not real until they're written down and they're shared with someone. Then they become real. So that's my first piece of advice. Write these goals down and then share them. Share them with your family, share them with somebody, share them here with us. But you got to share them. So my goals are something that I am working on for the next 6 months. the end of the year. So I don't have them written down yet. I have a little bit here, a little bit there, and I'm putting them all together. But one of my biggest goals is really not a personal goal, but it's for you guys. It's to really help my team succeed. So that's what I want to do. I want we were talking about this at Summit, and even though this, it's like not that important, or it's like, has nothing to do with ego or anything, but it's really cool to walk across stage at Summit, right, Greg? It's magical. It is a magical thing. Michelle, you've done it, right? Yes, it's a magical thing. So, and I remember the first time that I did that, and I walked across, and 25,000 coaches are clapping and cheering. And it was just like, wow, I want to do this like every Summit. So that feeling there, and it fires you up, So that feeling there is something that I want all of you guys to have the opportunity to experience. And I want to help you get there. And whatever it is, whatever accolade it is, or recognition it is that is getting you up there on that stage and walking across it, it doesn't matter. But I want my team, all of my team that's here on the call, let's do this. Let's work together, and I want to get you guys there. So that's pretty much at the top of my goal is really to help you guys excel and reach your potential, and get over that fear and get over, the fear of change and everything, and just really, really work hard for it and be committed to it, and to let you know that I'm going to be there, because I'm going to be working hard with my personal goals as well, but I'm going to be working hard for you guys too.
Yeah, awesome. Michelle, you want to share your goals?
Yes.
I know you have been working on a lot all week.
I know. We just moved for the first time in 7 years to this house we're in. If you could see it, I'm surrounded by boxes. My husband's putting bunk beds together in the next room. But I'm actually excited about this, because this is the first time I've really set goals in a while, because, we all go through periods in life. We all go through struggles. I've been in this business for almost 6 years. And after I had my son, Augie, I had the worst case of postpartum depression, which I have now fully come out of now. And making those goals, and this is something I wanted to share that, because I was going to say, when you find yourself, I don't know, how many of you have seen your business go down in the last year and a half? Have seen your business go down? When you see your business go down after you're taking off, it's hard not to feel like failure, or feel like impossible, or compare to other people around us. It's really difficult to do. And for me, having had the postpartum depression on top of that, I hit a point where I almost wanted to quit. And one of the biggest reasons I'm here today is because of Greg saying, "You're great. Why are you just need to get back up." And so, my big thing that I talk about all the time is live fearlessly. And it's because constantly we're faced with fear in life, and we have the choice. Does fear win, or do we choose to move past it and go? And I think that fear sometimes keeps us from setting goals. It keeps us from moving forward, when all we want to do is hide under a blanket, or under a bed, or in a closet with the door locked if you're me, and your kid's knocking on the outside of it. So that being said, my goals for this year, one of my biggest goals is I have some amazing women on my team. I have a team, and I have some of them here tonight. One of my coaches, Angie, is on here. She's got 9 kids, and I've got my coach Danielle and Amanda, and I want to see them succeed. They have worked out and stuck with it and not given up. And so I want to see them reach their goals finally, because as a team we had kind of been stuck. So it's time to get unstuck. So I want to see them reach their goals. And that being said, my goal is 4-star diamond. And I'm currently a 2-star diamond, but I lost a diamond. So I'm going to build myself back to diamond. I'm almost there, but I want to see my other coaches. I have 2 other coaches who really want to hit that diamond goal, and I want to dig in with them and help them reach their goals. So that is a big, scary goal for me, but I'm setting it because I'm drawing a line in the sand. We're either in this business or we're not in this business. I don't want to waste my time. I want to honor the time away from my family and impact and change lives as a team. So that, and then the second thing is make sure I hit Success Club every single month. Guys, I allowed that to slip for a while after becoming a Success Club All-Star. You know what, do that every month, and then my kids are going to a new school and it's going to cost a little more money than I expected, so I want to pay for them to go to that school without having to worry about where that money's coming from. So those are my goals, and my encouragement to you is don't be afraid to make a big goal. Greg here is amazing at reverse engineering. That's not my strength, but I know that's what he's going to talk about is as we set our goals, how can we now achieve them?
Yeah. Definitely. Thanks, Michelle. I think those are awesome.
I love what you said about honoring your time away from your family.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
So my goal is to hit elite again. I want, like Michelle, I want to break 2 new diamonds. I want 2 of my personally sponsored coaches to go diamond this year. And I want us to be an elite team again. Yeah, so Connie, you can certainly be one of those 2 coaches. I know Tiffany has already signed up to be one of those coaches. So, you know, more the merrier. Armando, I know you could be one of those coaches. You know, John, I mean, I got a lot of you guys on this call that can do it. You know, you just have to believe in yourself. Really, I don't care about the status. I want you guys to be successful. Right? I want diamonds popping all over this team, not for myself, but for you guys, you know? And it starts at diamond, right? I mean, that's not the goal. The goal is not to get to diamond. That's just the first step, right? And I want to see you guys, like Brian talked about, walking across stage, you know? I want to see you guys hitting a million, you know, hitting the million club, you know? Tom, I know you want that. So, I mean, you can do it. I told Scott today, they should call it the Consistency Club because it's not really about hitting $1 million. It's just about being consistent every day. So it doesn't matter what your goal is. You've got to be consistent every single day in hitting it. And I always tell Michelle that her problem that she struggles with is consistency. I mean, she's freaking awesome. You know, at whatever she does, she's awesome, but she struggles with consistency because she's a squiggle. So.
And I tell my team that if Greg can do it, anyone can do it. And
right.
I don't mean that in a bad way, but in the sense, back to that, because he is absolutely consistent. You know, you know, it's easy to look at coaches, okay, who are built a certain way, and you think, man, they just ask someone like, oh yeah, I want to be like you, and it's easy. And for some people, maybe it's a little easier. When you look at Greg, he's just a nice guy. He's a nice guy who's consistent and who cares. And all of us can be that. And so that's what I tell my team. Greg can do it.
That's right. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Trust me. All right. So who wants to share their goal? You guys have had enough time. Okay, Samara, go for it.
I want to be at my goal weight, definitely. By then, that's 30 more pounds. I want to be 1-star diamond by the time the next summit. I want to I left one of my jobs so I can have more time to do this. So I want to earn at least 500 a month consistently, well, just every month. And I'd like to make SC10 twice. I keep getting to SC8, and then so I'd like to make SC10.
Yeah, awesome.
Consistently.
Yes. Start in July.
Yes.
Do your best, right?
Yeah.
Do your best.
Yes, exactly.
What's your number? Is it 8?
Yeah, I keep getting SC8. I get nothing or SC8. SC10. Yeah.
Yeah. To get that 10, you just need a relative or a good friend you can call on. Hey, I need a favor.
Right. I don't want to do it that way, but yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Brian, did you write all that down?
I sure did.
Okay, good. All right, he's going to hold you accountable. All
All
right.
right.
Awesome.
Who else wants to share?
I'll chime in. I'm carrying 3 torches this year, and my torches are my family, my job, and building my dream life. The first 2, my family, working on my family and connecting with my family in ways that always empower them, will help me get to number 3, being consistent at my job and putting myself in places at my job so I can earn the money that I need to make and put myself in speaking engagements that I need to be making at that job will help number 3 as well. Because at the end of the day, I'm going into public speaking, into storytelling, and that is my why. That's number 3. My dream life is to be speaking about helping others achieve a better life using outdoor adventure to help with mental health, with depression, with health and fitness. So there's a lot of things in those 3 torches. So there's a lot of micro goals underneath there. And so those are the 3 torches that I'm going to be carrying. And over as we go through these chat sessions over the next couple months, I'll dive deeper into those micro goals that I have. But those are the torches that are burning bright this year.
So it was family, public speaking, and what was the other one?
Building my dream life. And
Okay.
that is, that's building my Beachbody business, working on my book that I'm writing, and, converting my outdoor activity into my funnel, right? So that's my market, is my outdoor activity, right?
Awesome. Okay. All right, who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay, go ahead, Connie.
All right. I really want to be more consistent. That has been one of my downfalls from being in the truck. I put everything off because I can't do it at this moment. So it ends up being put off, and then I end up not doing it. So I really need to get myself more consistent. I also would like to be a diamond. And I know to do that, I've got to be more consistent. I need to also learn better writing and video skills. I need to practice more of that on my own too, because that's something that, because of what I do as a living, I don't necessarily have time to commit to a lot of these things. So I get frustrated, and then I say, oh, yeah, with it.
Yeah.
So that's what I really need to work on, is my motivation skills.
Yeah, and it's also overcoming fear, which I know Michelle can talk about, right? Because I know that we're afraid to put ourselves out there because, in order to hit a goal like Diamond, which I'm sure many of you have, you've got to talk to a lot of people consistently, right? So like, Michelle, do you have any tips for people?
So getting past the fear of inviting,
Yeah.
just do it.
Or putting yourself out there, doing videos, like how do you overcome that?
You lead with your fears. So the first thing is that I think one of our biggest fears is we're going to be on video and people are going to look at us and be like, oh, look, she's so nervous. Look at blah, 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 blah. But if the first thing when we do a live video, and this is what I tell my coaches, and I've seen people shine, I can talk like Angie Bradley, who's on here. You should follow her on Facebook. To go from someone who hardly ever posted to somebody who got out of her own way because she realized, I'm sorry, Angie, I'm calling you out here, but she had this realization that most of the people that she's afraid of what they're going to think, they're not going to show up at her funeral. And guys, I don't know what you guys think, but for me, this Beachbody business, the reason I stayed is not for the money, although I want the money. That's not the reason I stayed. I stayed because I have seen lives transformed. I have seen women go from hating themselves every single day. I have seen marriages go from struggling to thriving. I have seen mothers who did not know how to parent their children or connect with their children, learn how to connect with their children and fall in love with them. That is why I'm here. So when I go get on a video, I still sometimes get nervous because I quit doing live videos for a long time. And I'm getting back into it. Sometimes I still get nervous. But guys, if you lead with your heart and you lead with your fears, and you say, you know what, I'm doing this live video, I'm super nervous, so if you see me with a nervous look on my face, you're absolutely right, I'm nervous. But this was on my heart, I felt it was really important to share. Or I'm really nervous about this video, but guys, it's so hard sometimes to know what to make for lunch, and I've got this super easy, clean lunch, and I just thought that I'd share it with you guys. People just want value and they want to connect. And the best way to connect with people is through video. Because, and this goes down to psychology, I'm not going to get into all of it, okay? But basically, as soon as people see your facial expressions, like if you saw a picture of me and I did a post in Team Engage, you wouldn't really get an idea of who I am or what my personality is. But here in video, you can hear my passion, you can hear my heart, you can see the smile on my face, or you know what I mean? So you can connect with the person that I am. And so what our fears are is that people aren't going to connect with us or they're not going to like us. And something Bob Heilig says, I follow him, I love him, he's an amazing person. He's your virtual upline. I look him up. But one of the things he said is let your inner weirdo out. We're afraid to let people see who we truly are because we're afraid that they're going to leave us and that we're not going to be enough. It's going to clarify that fact that we're not enough. And I don't know about you guys, I just know for us girls, that is often a deeper issue. And what we find out, and I had this issue, the very first time I did something where people could see my heart, I cried. I called my husband. I had shared that I had had bulimia in the past. And I called my husband and said, no one's liking my post. All my friends are going to hate me. I was really struggling. And guess what? I discovered that I started getting a lot of me toos in private messages. People need to hear your story. And if you're struggling with that, I really want to encourage you to get the book, The Power of Vulnerability by Brene Brown. Listen to it on Audible because she does it herself and she's got her Texan accent and she's just so fun. But seriously, listen to that book. It changed my life when it came to that. And you can always reach out to me if you want suggestions. You can always PM me. Just make sure you PM me and remind me how we met because I don't always accept friend requests from other coaches just because they get them all the time. But I will from you if you let me know.
Another good tip, man, that's great stuff. And another good tip is use this group to practice on. Guys, we're all in the same boat. We're all on the same team. We're all marching to the same drum beat. If you want to practice, do a live video chat with one of your buddies here, or do it in Team Engage, or do it in your other group pages. You practice with your friends. That's how you get better at this.
That, and just like you said, I tell my coaches that. You're absolutely right. And the other thing is, if you do a live video and you're nervous that no one's going to like or comment, I always tell my coaches, and we all do this together, we all do it. We take the live video, we post the link in the team page, that can you please give me some love on this? Yeah. You're never in competition with your teammates, guys, because when people sign up to have you as their coach or they're following you, it's because they like you. Yeah. So you encourage each other, and that really helps with that confidence as well.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome advice. Okay, Tom, did you want to go next?
Sure. Am I off mute? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
By the end of the year, I definitely want to be 1-star diamond. I think I can.
By the end of the year?
Yeah, I think I can do it.
All right.
Two by summit, but we're not going that far.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah. Want to hit Success Club consistently. I've been consistent with 5. I'm 10 sporadic, so I'm going to go for Success Club 10 consistently. And I want to earn enough money where my wife can quit her job. Be a little after you go for me to quit, because our salaries are a big difference. But I think I can get there where we can make enough where she can quit. So that's, I think, a good starting point, and then get her to do some beach body work.
Awesome. Do you have a goal in mind of what you would have to earn for her to quit?
About $3,000 a month.
Okay.
Consistently.
All right.
It's a very doable goal there, Tom. Very doable, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Not too far off.
Awesome.
So that's why I think I can manage it. That's been my goal from the beginning of the year. So halfway there. I think we can do it. I can do it. We can do it.
That's right.
And just I always have my physical goals. I just want to reduce my body fat a little more, maybe get down a couple, maybe another 2%. I'll be happy physically. You don't have to write that one down.
All right. So you only need to do 60 challenge packs a month. But the good news is that doesn't have to be from just you, right? That's your team, right? So 60 people on Shakeology are getting challenge packs, or coaches or customers. Yeah, you can do it.
Try.
All right. So who's next?
I can go.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. So, I probably wrote down too many things, but I wrote down continue to build my confidence and self-development. That's number one. Reach and maintain my goal weight through focusing on my nutrition, not just for me, but for my kids as well. I'm trying to break them of the Cheetos and the candy and the cookies. So that's a process. I know if I can get them on the right path, then they won't have the same troubles that a lot of us did as adults. Earn at least 500 to 1,000 a month, reach diamond within the year. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And just have fun with life. Cause I've just kind of had a bad past few years, and I just haven't had any fun life experiences. So I think it's important for me too, to just get out there and just have some fun. And, through Beachbody, I think I could be able to start achieving that as well.
I love that last one. I love that last goal. You got to love yourself, and you got to have fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. So Mika, you said 500 or 1,000. I wrote down 1,000. Okay.
Okay.
I hope you're okay with that.
Well, I put down a range, so you gotta be flexible.
All right.
Awesome. And Mika, I'm going to be there to help you with those goals. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about reverse engineering the goals, whatever your goal is. Brian, do you have tips on how they can start with that?
You're the expert on the reverse engineering.
Well, it depends, right? It depends. Like, is your goal to rank advance, right? For example, if you want to hit diamond, or Tom, you want to hit 1 star, right? So you got to figure out how many coaches are you going to need, right? So you got 6 months, right? And let's say you need 12 coaches, counting the emeralds. I would start by getting a diamond diagram. You guys have seen those, right? You can just Google Team Beachbody Coach diamond diagram, and you'll find lots of different ones that you can print out, and you can start writing people's names in. Maybe you already have a couple coaches. Write their names in, right? Figure out who is going to be your emeralds. If you've got control coaches, bam, right there. Those are going to be your emeralds because you control it, right? So don't wait and rely on, I hope one of my coaches is going to go emerald. No, you've got your wife or your husband or your mom, dad, whatever, it's up to you. You go out, find the coaches, place them under your control coach, and make them emerald so that you can hit your goal. Okay. So you got to figure out how many coaches you're going to need. And then you want to break it down. And how many coaches am I going to need per month? Right. You don't want to wait to the last month and like, oh no, I need 5 more coaches. Right. I know it's like, how many of you guys have done the Diamond Dash or the Rank in the Bank? Right. And you all think, oh, well, I'm just gonna take it easy. I'm gonna ignore these trainings for the first couple weeks, and then you get so far behind, you're like, it's impossible. I'm never gonna get it now, right? No, you can't do that, right? You gotta like start running at day one. You gotta figure out how many coaches am I gonna need a month, right? You divide it up. So I'm gonna need 2 coaches a month, right? So then you gotta figure out how are you gonna get those coaches, right? You just can't, like, I mean, it's possible, like Samara said, she's gonna set up a meeting with her hairdresser and talk about the business. Sure, you can do that. But you only have so many people that you have that type of relationship with, you know, that you can set up a one-on-one who might be interested in the business opportunity. But that's a great idea. That's a great way to start, right? Create a list of people that you can approach about the business. Create a list of people that you want to have on your team. Like if you could design a dream team, right? Who would you want on there? Would you want your brother, your sister, your best friend? Maybe it's that person at work that you totally respect, right? You know, maybe it's somebody you went to school with. I mean, just like who would you want, you know? And don't be afraid, overcome that fear, like Michelle said, and talk to those people, right? It's like, say, you know, hey, I'm not sure if this would be any interest of you with you, but you know, I would love to talk to you about becoming a coach. I think we could rock this thing together, you know? Would you be interested in meeting for coffee and discussing it, you know? And most of them would probably say yes, you know? But let's say you don't have very many of those people. Well, then you got to go break it down into challengers, right? And then it doesn't matter if your goal is hitting Success Club every month. My goal, and what I've done for the past 30 months, I think, 30 some months, is Success Club 10, right? So my goal is to hit Success Club 10 every single month, right? Some months I end up with 20, some months I end up with 10, but I still have the goal of hitting 10 every single month. So I don't wait until the last week of the month. Do you think I wait till the last week of the month to start asking people? No, on day one, I already have a list prepared, and I send out, I kid you not, 5,000 messages, okay? 5,000 messages, emails, private messages, Instagram messages, text messages, okay? I am slamming people against the freaking wall because I want to hit my goal. Okay, that's me. Now, okay, if I'm overwhelming you guys, I'm sorry. But you gotta, my point is you gotta have a plan, right? You gotta start out the gate strong and go after what you want, right? And if your goal is to bring in challengers, if your goal is to sell challenge packs, if your goal is to make money, you gotta have a list, work from a list, right? And that would include your customers. That would include your prospects, the people you meet on Instagram. So, you know, I'm constantly, you know, how do I hit SC10, for example, right? How do I convert people into coaches? Well, I mean, you got to break it down in your head. Like, okay, if my goal is SC10, how many new people do I need to meet per month? How many people do I need to talk to per month? How many people do I need to get in my challenge group, my free group, in order to hit SC10 that month? Okay? And basically, I'm working, so to hit SC10 this month, I'm working on it last month, and the month before that, the month before that. Does that make sense? I can't just start now and hit SC10, right? Or hit SC1 even. Like, so if you're starting today, you're going to be a real challenge. You know, it's going to be a real challenge to hit SC this month, okay? Or to sign up 2 coaches this month, right? If you're starting today, if you just come back off of hiatus and you're like, I'm gonna hit diamond, you know, or I'm gonna hit SC10, it's gonna be a real struggle this month. But you need to work as hard this month or even harder this month to get your business going again for next month, right? Because next month, everything that you did this month is gonna start paying off next month, okay? So you've got to figure out, I can't tell you, you know, based on whatever your goal is, right? You've got to work backwards and you got to figure out how many people am I going to have to connect with today? Or like how many how many people am I going to have to sell a challenge pack to? Or how many people am I going to have to talk to about the coaching opportunity? And then work backwards. Like, how many people am I going to have to get into my challenge group or into my free group to be able to sell those people a challenge pack? And then you work backwards and say, how many people am I going to have to invite? And then you work backwards and how many people am I going to have to talk to on Instagram to hit that goal? Okay. So, you know, it's like Jen Richardson said, she searches 100 people, 100 hashtags, and does 100 conversations and follows 100 people a day on Instagram. Okay. So she has a big goal, you know, but do you guys have a big goal, right? I mean, is your goal not as big as her goal? You know, so you got to decide, like, what is it going to take? And that's how you break it down. That's how you reverse engineer. But I can't tell, because everybody's different. I might have to talk to, you know, 100 people, but Michelle can just do a live video and she's going to attract 100 people. You know, everybody's different, right? So you got to figure it out yourself, like, you know, by doing that. So, all right, now, Michelle, Brian, what do you got to add? Scott?
First of all, Angie asked, what's the recommendation to get 2 new challengers a week? And I know you said you have to figure out for yourself, but like, what would you say, off of your experience, the recommendation to get 2 new challengers a week? How many people should she be looking at talking to, numbers-wise?
2 new challengers a week. So what I do is I search people on Instagram and I invite them to my challenge, to my free challenge group, right? So I don't have to sell somebody something in order to add them to my free group, right? Because that builds a relationship with people and it causes them to trust you. So that's what I would recommend. So that's when I say challengers, that's what I mean. I just mean people invited to my free group, right? So you kind of have to figure that out. Like, you know, you start this week and you just start, maybe you start with 10 a day, right? And you figure out, you know, if I'm reaching out to 10 people a day, how many people did I add to my challenge group out of those 10? You know, if I add 1 in a 10, now you know, I've got to talk to 20 people a week in order to get 2 people into my challenge group, right? And maybe they're doing running, maybe they're doing CrossFit. They don't have to be doing Beachbody, right? You can just invite them into your free group or your clean eating group or whatever you have. But you know, those are the people that you're eventually going to sell a challenge pack to. And those are the people, the ones that you get into a group are the ones that are eventually going to become coaches, and they're eventually going to become your diamond coaches and part of your tribe. Okay. But it all starts with a conversation of getting them into a group where you can start building a relationship. For me, you know.
Yeah. And that's the list, you know, that's your working list for here on out, right?
Exactly. Once I get people into that into that group, right, or whatever, they go on my list, and I actually have a spreadsheet, and I can look at those people every single day, and I keep notes on them, and I follow up with them, and if they disappear, I message them, you know. So I mean, but you got to figure out, maybe for you it's talking to 50 people or talking to 100. Maybe you have to search 100 hashtags. I know it's a pain, but I use, and I have an Instagram training where I use a tool called Follow Adder, which does it for me. So instead of me manually searching 100 hashtags, it does it for me, and it starts the conversation for me. So, you know, if you want to use a tool like that, you can, but that's what I do.
And Greg has an amazing Instagram training that it's a closed group. I'm not closed, and it's an ended group, so it's not currently running. But I know that myself and some of my coaches have been in there going through his Instagram training. I think Brian was in there as well, right? But it explained all of that, and that's one of my personal goals, is to go through and set all that up.
Yeah, so we have a group that anybody is welcome to join. So if you want to message me, I can add you to the group, and you can go through the training. And I know Brian did some training in there, and I did some training, and some other coaches did training. So,
and I've been with Instagram, I've been having really great success with it since I started, you know, earlier in this year. But I was doing one thing, or I wasn't doing one thing that Greg just talked about. And that was initiating and starting conversations with people. I have my follow adder set up. I have it to automatically send, an introduction, direct message to new followers of mine. And then I was kind of sitting back and waiting for them to respond to that. And obviously it didn't work. I mean, I did get a couple challengers, new customers and things like that, but not there. In the past few weeks, I've actually been starting to use Instagram the way we're supposed to use it. Follow adder, like you mentioned, Greg, is in addition to the other work you need to be doing. And that is, manually going out there, searching on some hashtags, things that you're interested in. Do not search on stuff that you are totally not interested in, because you're never going to find anybody and it's not going to work that way. So you have to stuff that either you're interested in or stuff that sticks with your story, that your story is. For me, a lot of it is my recovery and my addiction, and that's what I look at. And I'll tell you something, finally in the past 2 weeks, just by doing this and just by starting conversations and meeting new people, I'm having fun again doing this, and for a while there I wasn't having fun. I was having fun again, meeting people and really, talking with people and getting back to that mode of helping people. Have I got any new challengers or sold any challenge packs from it? No, not yet. But I'm in the starting block once again, and what Greg talked about, if a lot of you felt overwhelmed when he talked about 5,000 messages, and, you got to remember he's been consistent, right, Michelle? Consistent, doing it every single month, and he has built this up. So don't get overwhelmed. Don't think of that number that you definitely have to reach 100 or start 100 conversations every single day. I want you to dream big, and I want you to go for it. But, just getting out of the starting gate and getting over that fear that Michelle talked about, of starting conversations. If you have that fear, man, if you can just do 2 or 3 to start with, and then once you get, a response back from somebody and a conversation's open up, then all of a sudden, you're like, wow, I can do this. You get a little confidence, and then you start even more, and then you start growing. And then, the payoff with Success Club and signing up coaches, that stuff comes later down the road as you are planting all of these seeds. You're going to harvest that later. So that's what I've been doing, and it's been working.
Yeah, and it's critical. It's critical to block that time. I mean, no matter if you don't have a lot of time during the day or night, take a 30-minute block here and a 30-minute block later, but dedicate that time. Put that on paper. Get a calendar and say, this is my time. Nobody else's. It's not my kids' time. It's not anybody else's time. It's my time. And do that work, because if you do that work in that time, and then you can shut it off and say, I'm done. I don't have to do any more because I've done my block of time. But if you're not blocking your time, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you will not get traction just winging it here, doing sporadic time here, sporadic time there. And Greg will, confirm this. He's the master at consistency. He blocks his time and he nails it every single time.
Yeah, so Scott's right. I mean, if you only have an hour, then do an hour, but make sure that you're spending that hour, inviting, right? So searching the hashtags and messaging people and creating conversations, right? Don't spend it searching or
looking at funny cats.
Yeah, looking at cats like Brian does,
Don't get distracted. Work is work.
Shiny objects and cats.
Okay. Don't fall for the guppy effect, okay?
Right. And my comment about 5,000, like Brian said, I mean, obviously I don't expect any of you guys to do that, because that's what I have built up over the 7 years, right? I mean, if you've got 50 customers, I would expect you to message all 50 of those customers at the first day of every single month. If you got 5 customers, I would expect you to message all 5 of those customers. So has everybody done that this month? Okay, you got to do that. Day 1 of every single month, you got to message all of your customers, because you want to tell them about all the Beachbody announcements. You all get the Beachbody newsletter, so I know you all know all the Beachbody announcements, what's on sale, what the specials are. but your customers don't know unless you tell them, right? So every month when I message my customers, I always get people that are like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was on special. Tell me more about it, right? And then it's like all the people that I've picked up and I followed on Instagram and I've started conversations with, all those people all June long that are now on my spreadsheet, all of those people get a private message from me first of every month, right? So if you've talked, maybe like Angie said, right? I mean, let's say she picks up 2 people a month that go onto her list, right? That go into a group, whatever group you have. Come August 1st, you want to message all, what is the day? That's 60 people, right? You want to message all 60 of those people. And you want to, obviously, you might want to be messaging them all along the month too, right? Private message, but at least you want to do it on August 1st to check in with them, to see how they're doing, to ask them. What I do is I ask them, I'll pay a compliment. Like, you guys you're doing awesome this month, or you've been doing awesome in our group. I appreciate your consistency. And I'll say, I see that you're not drinking Shakeology. Would you be interested in trying it for a month? Or maybe I'll say, you're so motivating and inspiring to everyone. Have you ever considered becoming a coach? So it doesn't matter if you're signing up somebody as a customer or somebody as a coach. That's still 2 SC points, and that's still adding to your team and to your volume and to your personal volume, to your team volume, whatever. So how do I hit SC 10 every, at the beginning of every month? That's how. So, and I encourage you guys, we are over time, but fill out the BAT. We have the Walker, what is it called? The Walk, Jog, Run BAT, right? Which is in the file section of the Engage group. If anybody needs it, I'm happy to send you a link to it. Moira created this, and she shared it on the National Wake Up Call, I believe, one of the National Wake Up Calls, what she does with her coaches, and I got a copy of it, and it's amazing. So you can decide whether you want to walk, run, or jog in this business, and it's a different customized BAT, business activity tracker, for you to fill out based upon what your goals are, and I encourage you guys, do it this week. Figure out, try to figure out reverse engineering your goals, right? Try to figure out how many people you need to talk to and set that as a goal in your BAT and fill it out this week, okay? And then going forward, we're going to start asking you guys to share those in our chat group, okay, with each other. And that'll keep you accountable to each other, right? And if you guys need help with reverse engineering, more detailed, specific help for you, reach out to me, reach out to Brian or Michelle or whoever your coach is, and they can definitely help you.
Hey, Greg, I did want to offer one quick thing.
Yeah.
I do workshops professionally at work, and part of that workshop is goal setting. So if anybody needs help with goal setting and affirmations, because the affirmations reinforce the goals and help you to understand them, I'm willing to run that part of the workshop for anybody here. It's not like I'm going to charge anybody, because we're all part of the same team here. So I'd love to offer that for you guys. If you want to do an off session another time, day of the week or something outside of these sessions here, all I'd ask you is show up to that session and just show up to this one too.
Okay.
And
yeah.
We'll get it both ways. And, like I said, I've done this for a couple of years. It's part of my job. So.
Awesome. Yeah, you are. Remind me, you are a certified.
So I'm a transformative coach, but I'm not certified yet. I still need to get about 10 hours of coaching time with people, and I'm willing to do that too before I can get my certification. But the goal setting, I run a thought patterns for high performance workshops for Boeing, and part of that workshop is affirmation writing and goal setting. And I'd be willing to run through a workshop. It'd be a couple of hours, so we'd spread it out for sure, because it's a 16-hour workshop and it's fast paced at that. But we can, spread it out over a couple of weeks or a couple of sessions. Or if you guys want to do some individual coaching to go through that stuff too, I'm game for it, and I'm offering that up. And I guess I would say the only payment that I would want from anybody is you show up here.
Yeah, that's awesome, Paul. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Anybody who's interested, take Paul
So
up on that.
I'll throw my my private email in the chat, and if you want to do, you can hit me up, or if we want to arrange a group, we can talk to that in the group.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any final questions before we wrap up? Comments?
Yeah, who did you say put out the tracker that, so I've got the tracker. There's just some areas I'm not sure how to fill out or what to put in them. And I was wondering if you had, who set them up.
Who's got what? Sorry, you broke up there.
Okay, the walk, run, or the walk, jog, run tracker.
You got it, you said?
Yeah, I've got the paperwork. I just got a few areas on it that I couldn't figure out what was supposed to go in those. And I was wondering if you had or knew the link to describe how to use it.
There is a video, but why don't you just send it to me, and if I can't answer it, I will find out for you. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and you know, it's really up to you guys. Like if there's parts of it that you don't want to fill out or whatever, you know, just fill out the parts that would be helpful for you guys, you know, to do. Right? So, but yeah, Connie, definitely send it to me. I'll help you out. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, guys. See you next week. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you all.
Have fun tomorrow.